in a patriarchal book like the Bible, that is very unusual. That should stop you in your tracks. In synagogues, they'll take another reference to her, and they'll put it on, the bema is the stage, and they'll have the ark with the Torahs in it. And a lot of synagogues have this phrase that says, she is a tree of, it is a tree of life to those who hold it fast. They take the gender out, maybe because they're gender sensitive, or maybe because they're afraid. I opt for the second. The text says, she is a tree of life to those who embrace her. Hold her close. Traditional English says, those who hold her fast. When I worked in Los Angeles, it was a mystical community, and we would pass the Torah from person to person, and sometimes people just got in ecstasy, because the Torah is also a woman. Torah, Sophia, Chachma, they're all the same, they're all variations of the same thing. So you get this physical embodiment of divine wisdom, the divine feminine, the divine mother, and you're supposed to hold her close. But some people would go into these ecstatic moments, and they'd be dancing around and twirling, and the service is long enough as it is, and you really want to move through it. So I would say, she is a tree of life to those who hold her fast and pass her on quickly. Just got to keep it moving. Torah is a woman, wisdom is a woman, the manifesting of the divine is divine feminine. The soul in Judaism, the 5 aspects of soul are all feminine in Judaism. Regardless if you're a male or a female, your body in Judaism is masculine. Judaism, like French, is a gendered language. So the physical body, whether it's a woman's body or a man's body, is considered masculine in grammatically, but your soul is feminine. Everything important in Judaism is feminine. But remember, this is an overwhelmingly patriarchal tradition. Don't equate feminine with women, because they don't, right? No, women are here. Sophia maybe is up here, but don't imagine that just because they have these interesting concepts, they elevate women to some equal status. They don't, because it's a patriarchy. But it's so patriarchic that it shocks me, and hopefully it shocks you, to hear that they're so engaged in the divine feminine. Now they abstract it so it's not so threatening, except in the Song of Songs, where she is your beloved. And if you read my translation of Song of Songs, I don't know if they have it outside, but you should sell out if they do. If you read the Song of Songs the way you're supposed to read the text, which is the way I read it, you discover that it's an erotic, tantric, transformative practice for the seeker, who's embodied, so it's masculine language, the seeker, men or women, to have this intimate, ecstatic, physical, and sexual, erotic encounter with the Divine Mother. I mean, it's really a powerful book. How it got in the Bible shows how perverse and weak the patriarchy is. This is how she gets in all the texts, I think. But here's what I mean. Read the Song of Songs. We're going to read a little bit of it. It's all about sex. It's all about sex. And that should keep it out of the Bible. Because it's not about the kind of sex that's in the Bible. The kind of sex that's in the Bible is men and women are having sex. It never works. God intervenes, and there's a baby, right? You read Genesis. There's always 3 people in the act of procreation, right? There's the woman, the man, and then God. I mean, the same thing with Jesus. Jesus, Mary is just like Rachel and the other women in Genesis who have trouble conceiving. Mary's a virgin. It's the same thing. She hasn't got kids, and then bam, she has a kid. And Joseph said, wait, I thought I had to do something. It turns out you don't. Of course, don't try this at home. You go home and you say, I'm pregnant, but I never had sex. You know. I did not have relations with that woman. So, the only way to keep the Song of Songs in the Bible was to neuter it. To neuter it, to take the sex out. It can't be what it's about if it's going to be in the Bible. So Rabbi Akiva, who's maybe the greatest rabbi of certainly his generation, but maybe all time, who knows, he said that the Song of Songs is the most important book in the Bible. Wow, it's a sex manual. That's the most important book in the Bible? People might come to synagogue if that was one. But that's not what he meant. It's the most important book in the Bible because it's not about sex between a man and a woman. It's about the love between God and Israel. Right? Later, when the Christians get a hold of it, they say, oh, this is good. It's God and the church. Right? Anything but to have, physical contact like that, sexual contact. So Akiva says, look, I'll show you what it's really about. So there's a part of the text, I think it's the 7th chapter of Song of Songs, which is really this practice of one partner vis-a-vis the other, but the other is laying prone, and the other partner is working his or her way up the other person's body, arousing it from the feet to the head. And there's a part where it talks about the woman's navel. And it's a euphemism for a few inches south of that. I was once teaching Song of Songs at a convent. And these were wild. I mean, I don't know how many of you are Catholics or were Catholics, but I love my nuns. I've studied with Catholic nuns for over 20 years in this one order, the Order of the Daughters of Wisdom, who are all these mystic, maniacal women who are just in love with the Divine Mother, who they insist is Mary. I've been to Rome. I tried for a week to convince them Mary, Kali, Prajna, Tara, Chochma, Shekhinah, Sophia, it's all the same. They said, really interesting and wrong. But it was free trip to Rome. So I was teaching these women on the Song of Songs, and I'm getting to this navel part, and I'm getting nervous. So, well, it's a little below the navel. And that's as far as I wanted to go. And then one of the sisters goes, it's the vagina! Well, if you say so, sister, I don't. So the book is talking about the navel, the woman's navel. And it's not the navel because he talks about how it is a fountain of moist, whatever and stuff. He's going on and on about the navel. And then Rabbi Akiva gets it, and he says, the navel is the center of your body. What's the center of the Jewish body? The rabbinic court. The text is all about how wonderful the rabbinic court is. And all the moist juices that are flowing from the court, those are all the laws that we rabbis create. That's why these guys lived by themselves for a week. Only went home to their spouses, on Friday, because the women didn't want to deal with them, and they didn't know what to do with the women. So, but they took the text and they totally abstracted it so that it's no longer erotic, it's no longer sexual, and it no longer speaks the inner power that it's trying to speak. But it's in the text, it's in the Bible.